Here we are, I'm back again for another Backbone Zone. I can't believe it. It's winter. It's officially the 1st of June here in Australia, and I'm telling you right now, the weather is not too favourable. It is freezing. Riss, if you thought that the studio was bad a couple of weeks ago, you should try it today. Holy hell. But it's good. I like winter for BMX. I find that the shorter days kind of allows you to, I guess, not waste any time. I mean, this is the first year. Well, I wouldn't say it's the first year because my son's a year old now, but he is a year old rather than only being a couple of weeks old, and we'll see how it goes. We'll see how it goes as far as making time to fit in BMX. But I like the cold weather as far as the way it feels to go to the trails and things like that. And it makes riding a little bit more of a task, but not a task in a bad way. Just a task in that it feels like you're really doing something. So you definitely make it count when you're riding during winter. And like they say about gym bodies, your summer body's made in the winter, and I feel like that's how it goes with BMX. You know, the sessions that you have during the winter kind of dictates how you feel on your bike during the summer. But having said that, you know, Canberra is not the warmest place during winter, and I'm sure that there's many people around Australia and around the world that are living it up in the sun right now. So let's not, dwell on the coldness too much. But a little bit of news over the past little week, or I guess week or so. Our good mate and Backbone team rider and had the last part in the video, Jack O'Reilly, just got married to his now wife, Virginia. So it was really sick to go to the wedding on the weekend. It was a pretty classic wedding, and it was full of BMX good times, and not even BMX good times, just straight up good times. So it was fun to watch someone. It's crazy, to be honest. I've seen Jack came into the shop to do work experience, and now I watched him get married on the weekend. So pretty crazy, very cool. We're all growing up, but this is the thing about BMX, keeps you young forever. A little bit of news in terms of still Backbone news, definitely. Upcoming news, we've got Johnny McKellar coming into town, so that's going to be really, really fun. Bring a jumper or 3, Johnny. It is brick out. But no, it'll be really sick to have J-Mac here. Always super positive dude. And yeah, just stoked to have him in town, really. And I think the fact that whenever a BMX rider comes to town, they don't have anything to do in terms of they're not working and things like that. It makes you realize you've got to make time to fit this whole BMX thing in. And when someone like Johnny comes to town, he brings the stoke up. So looking forward to that. International news. Feast just went down in Montpellier. I watched a fair bit of it because I am crazy like that. Definitely watched a lot of raw runs on YouTube, but interesting to watch. Always interesting to watch. I feel like a few things that stood out to me were a few people that I thought were judged a little bit unfairly, but could be wrong because I wasn't there. I thought that just from what I could see, that James Jones guy from the UK, he rode insanely crazy on the spine ramp, and I think he only got 9th or something like that, so that was pretty crazy. And to be honest, I did think that Hannah Roberts from the US in the women's final rode better than the placings reflected. But again, I wasn't there, and you can't really tell, so you don't know whether she, put feet down or whatever, crashed and things like that. But yeah, pretty interesting to watch. Logan Martin definitely ripped it up. What I do want to know, Logan came second, of course, and Rim, aka Rim, no, at the Japanese shredder Rim Nakamura, he won it. So it's sick to see a dude that just full blown blasts win a contest like that. I want to know. I've never been to a feast, and I've definitely had a couple of mates. Jason, I think, won the spine feast a few years back. But can anyone enter? Because it's interesting to me. I feel like there's a bit of criticism that goes down with feast competitions because it elicits a type of riding that often looks very similar throughout the riders. But I can understand why it would be like that because, there's just tricks that are obvious points getters, and if you can fit a lot of those tricks in, then why wouldn't you get judged highly for it? But it would be interesting to see someone. Kevin Peraza obviously rides quite uniquely. Sergio Leos rode in the spine contest, and he definitely just made it look like how you would want to ride a spine ramp, and I think that he placed in maybe just outside the top 10. But in terms of if you were to, if an alien came to Earth and you wanted to show them the way that BMX was ridden, you would probably, I would say that I would show Sergio Leos's run versus, a few of the other riders. Not to say the other riding is not good. Like I'm certainly not the type of guy that disses on that type of riding, but it's hard to know what it is that gets judged higher than other things. So it's interesting to see the way that tricks may get judged better than landing smooth. Now, I can see how if you did a lot of tricks, you could probably do less tricks and land smoother, and maybe that's the argument for why tricks score more. But from an not an outsider looking in, but like I said, if I was an alien, or if an alien landed on Earth outside the shop and said, "Show me what BMX looks like," and you've got the feast spine contest to choose from, I'd definitely be playing Sergio Leos. So yeah, interesting to know. I'd like to know your thoughts in the comments. Holy shit, I can see mist coming out of my mouth, so it's obviously warm as. The other thing that I like to kind of expand on those thoughts, I think that's a gripe that a lot of people have with competitive BMX, is that it starts to look very similar. And I think that this is the tough thing about BMX, because if you're going to get into a competitive, mindset or the competitive realm of BMX, then it almost does need to have very specific outline for what gets judged and how it gets judged, and the appropriateness of particular maneuvers or style or height and flow and things like that. Because I don't know about you, but I've been in some BMX contests over the years to various levels, and there's always the talk of we want to see tricks, we want to see height, we want to see consistency, we want to see originality, blah blah blah. But it would be interesting to know what would be the thing that they are actually looking for the most. And I think that, it's very black and white. If you're playing rugby league, there's no talk of but it was the way that he passed that ball that really got him over the line. Like that really, rather than scoring the try 4 points, like I'm going to give that dude 8 points now because let's face it, that was done with style. Or, he scored a try from 90 meters out, just broke through, ran the whole thing all the way to the into touch. Like, that's, it's hard to say. It's hard to say those things. Everyone gets over the try line, and that's how you get those points. And there's no argument about what was harder or easier. Getting the ball over the line is the way that you score points, and if you kick it in between the posts, to convert, then that's how you get 2 more points. So it'll be interesting to know. I think, because I think it would, say if BMX competitions came out and they just said, look, tricks are one thing, but what we're really looking for is if you can execute those tricks really high, that's going to get more points. Like, I don't even care if you do not as hard trick. If you can do it 5 foot higher than everyone else, then we're going to up your score. Because I think then you would start seeing a lot of people, if they knew that, then you might see the riders that seem to be a little bit more of the quote-unquote hardcore riders entering these competitions, because they'd be like, oh, far out, I'm in with a shot and I can potentially make some money out of this thing. So I just was thinking about that a lot. I was thinking about how, competitions bring a certain type of rider to the competition, but I don't think that the hardcore riders, when I say hardcore, it's a loose term, just so you know, but say the Clint Reynolds and the Brian Foster, for example, the Hallahan bros, all those crew, even the fast and loose dudes, it would be very interesting to know how contests are judged, and if those guys who can clearly do things, like you could imagine that if you were to score a triple tail whip based on the amount of people that do a triple tail whip versus the amount of people that did like a big open bowl pocket air, there's probably only one person that could do that, maybe 2. Then what's harder? So it's just interesting. Something that was, after watching all this feast footage, I think it was something that stuck in my head, and I think that judging clarification would be an interesting, topic to discuss with someone. So if there's any UCI judges out there that want to come on the Backbone Zone, then you're welcome to. I'd love to have you on. Maybe a future episode, who knows. Last thing from me, I just wanted to, I guess, since the whole feast thing come about, and just watching that and still being really excited to watch it. And I don't want to give any impression that I don't like that type of riding. So that's not me. If you're looking for someone else to look for someone else to hate on, if you think it's, I don't like that type of riding, that's not me at all. I just was, I'm just interested to think about that stuff and think about it a little bit outside the box, I guess. Trust me, if I could do a triple tail whip, I'd be busting them out every single day. So, but the other thing I just wanted to, I guess I was thinking a lot about the reasons why we ride BMX, and the reasons, how those reasons can affect you and make you a better person. And I guess I wrote an article on the Backbone website a few years ago. It's actually called 11 Reasons Why Riding BMX Will Make You a Better Person. So it's a lot of that that riding that comes out of those feast competitions and things like that comes just from wanting to, I guess, progress and pit yourself against yourself. So, I mentioned it in here. Obviously, the number one reason why we all get into BMX is for fun, and I think that, like I said, riding BMX is a constant pursuit and attainment of fun. And if you can find something fun, and you don't need to raise that bar, then you'll just keep doing it forever. But if you want to find something else that's fun in BMX, sky's the limit. But yeah, I do love the reason 4. And I think I thought about this when I was watching Feast, like the challenge of riding something like that, physical and mental, is insane. And I definitely give it up to those guys and girls, because I know for sure, like the times that I've ridden contests, it's probably the most nerve-wracking thing that you could ever do. Like, you are being watched by all your peers. You want to ride the best that you can, and you only got a certain amount of times to make that happen. It can be pretty stressful, and to be honest, almost more mentally fatiguing than physically fatiguing. Although it is, a 45-second sprint where you're also lifting your bike up and down, which, weighs 10 kilos or something like that, and you're throwing it around in midair, so it's not exactly not physical. But yeah, it's a really good reminder, those Feast contests, whether you ride contests or not, those guys and girls are out there to try to become, like I said right here, the choice to ride BMX is an opportunity to become infinitely better at something, and there is no ceiling to hit in the realm of freestyle BMX. And I think that the challenges that you have when you're riding only get exacerbated and only get more tough and more of a challenge when you're in a contest environment like that. So it's not something that not everyone wants to do, but it's just interesting to watch those riders, and especially the riders that can pull it off. And again, like I've spoken about Logan Martin before, but he just seems to be the ultimate professional. Like, he can figure out, this are the tricks that I want to do, and I'm not going to get swayed, or I'm not going to be distracted by anything, and I can just find that laser focus to make it happen. And you see that in video part riders as well, and you see it just in day to day. I go down a skate park and see kids trying tricks 100 times before they even get close. So it's very cool to be reminded of that. The BMX is forever a challenge, and every time you meet that challenge, you reset the bar, and the challenges get higher and higher, and there's nothing to it except for the reward that you get out of it for yourself. So even though you can be a competitive rider, it really comes down to those challenges that you put on yourself, and the reward of realizing those challenges. So yeah, that's pretty much all I wanted to talk about. It's always fun to see what's going on in the world of BMX. Like I said, Johnny McKellar's here this weekend. He's here for the next 10 days or so he'll be on the podcast next week. He doesn't know that yet, but trust me, he'll be on it. And please leave me a comment below if you're watching this on YouTube, or if you see this on Instagram. Let me know what your thoughts are about the competitive aspect of BMX, and what you think about judging and things like that. And if you are a BMX judge and you've been to UCI events or anything like that, please hit me up. I'd love to have you on and discuss your thoughts on the whole judging topic. But until next week, thanks a lot for listening. Really appreciate it. And do me a favor, like, subscribe, rate us 5 stars on Spotify. It helps us out a lot to, keep pushing this thing out. So thanks a lot, and I'll see you next week.